Alright, hello everyone. Wow, I really am just getting really crappy at these intros. Well, thankfully the good news is that tonight, I basically kind of just rewatched tonight's episode, and I'm so glad we're starting to get back on track with Season 7. I think it's just that we kind of had to get over a couple of humps of some not so good episodes, but now we're actually going to get into an episode that is very, very enjoyable, I'll say that much. For one thing, it is a Discord episode, and we have not seen one of those in a long time, but the good news is, it is a Discord episode that doesn't suck. Alright, this is Discordant Harmony. So this episode basically begins at Fluttershy's house, where her and Discord are holding a tea party.
Care for a carrot ginger sandwich?
Oh, you remember to cut off the crusts for me.
I think it's always I really just find it interesting how basically how the crust is basically cut off first. And that's usually kind of weird with me and the kid. Whenever I eat a sandwich, I usually eat like the crust out first and then have like the sandwich in the middle. It's those kind of special neat things that just make it.
I know how you like them.
So it's essentially basically we see this tea party, basically see how much Discord and Fluttershy's friendship is really like.
Right. I need to go to the market anyway.
So essentially they basically continue to spend time together with each other. And while Discord continues to be, Discord, he basically decides to host a tea party. Yeah, so while I was explaining this, he basically tells Fluttershy, I can host a tea party, and then he realizes that he doesn't know how to. And we get that. I really just love that funny scene. And then it is followed by Discord basically over-explaining of how he doesn't know how to host a tea party.
Oh, I've never hosted a tea party before. So much to do. Thank you so much for the tea and nibblies, but I really must be going.
Discord, before you go, would you mind helping me tidy up?
There you go, back to normal, just the way you like it. See you tomorrow. I can't wait!
It really just goes to appreciate how far Fluttershy and Discord have come in terms of their friendship. Like, I think it really goes to show that a lot of people still keep calling Flutter on a lot of crap, but I think it definitely paved the way for a lot of things to come, and I definitely appreciate that. So Discord basically goes outside as he essentially is talking to, well, at first no pony, but being that it is Discord, he is talking to himself.
Why are you talking to me?
Actually, madam, I'm talking to myself. Well, I'm not talking to you. It's for Fluttershy. Oh, all right. No more holes, though. Get to knock this tea party out of the park for her. She was our first friend, after all. You don't have to tell me that.
Still really hilarious. I think that's definitely one of the things I really like about this episode, and it's going to be the same for the rest of the episode, is that the majority of the episode is essentially just John Delancey talking to himself. It's just really enjoyable to watch. I mean, it is Discord, but just like hearing John Delancey essentially talking to himself, I'm sure a lot of people would definitely have a lot of kicks over himself.
She gave us a chance when no other pony would. She makes us want to be a better Draconicus. Fluttershy deserves the best of everything. Of course, I should...
So Discord basically goes over to the teabag shop and try to get some tea bags, and he essentially decides to get some singing tea bags.
Oh, singing ginseng. I'll take it.
You know, now that I think about it, I'm not really much of a tea expert, because I think the only teas I ever had were like, I don't know, I think tangerine and raspberry, I think, but I wonder if that type of tea is real. I mean, I'm sure it is, but I'm too lazy to look it up.
Are you sure you're friends with Fluttershy? You seem so very different from her.
Well, of course we're friends. She gets me, and you obviously do not.
Are you sure you're friends with Fluttershy?
And it really just kind of counteracts to see how it is, because Discord is able to express himself, basically being himself when he's around Fluttershy, and when a lot of ponies like question him, he's basically his classic snarky self.
I'm sorry, do you validate?
So he then goes over to the teapot store to basically get a teapot.
Sure.
And basically, essentially, the teapot owner tells him the exact same thing as he basically tries to explain himself.
Besties, and that's why I need the best tea set.
Yeah, and also the pose that he makes around this time when he asks for the best tea set is essentially a great call-out to when he forced the main six to go through the basically rigged maze all the way back to the Return to Harmony two-parter.
Perhaps then you'd be interested in our classic tea for two set.
A teapot that just pours tea? How positively dreadful.
But that's all teapots are supposed to do.
Ew. Unless you've seen In Beauty and the Beast, a live-action remake, and you know what I'm talking about.
Not anymore. Much better. Don't wrap it. I'll walk it home.
I think you probably mean fly it home, because if it's a teapot with wings, then it's like you're not really walking it. So he then basically stops by the party store and basically brings in basically brings to life a piñata and a lava lamp, which actually is a lava lamp out of a volcano. And I should also mention that the piñata is also voiced by Andrea Ledman.
Oh, better. Oh, I'll need napkins. I'll simply make them. I could, or no, I've got nothing. How do I make these better? What should I do? Make them glow. Oh, that's not good enough for Fluttershy. Should I make them fly? Glow, fly, and fold.
I wonder if you would classify that as neon light napkins. I think somebody should make that a thing.
Glow, fly, fold.
So he basically comes across Fluttershy and asks advice for her next.
But not best friend. I need your advice. I'm hosting a tea party for her, and it has to be perfect. No, it has to be even better than perfect.
Oh, Discord, you're way overthinking things. All you have to do is make Fluttershy feel comfortable. It should be pretty easy for you. You know her so well.
And that's why you're the party expert. Thank you, Pinkie Pie.
I really like how when Discord had the light bulb moment, his whole face becomes the light bulb. So, believe it or not, this episode, I think, we get to go inside Discord's house. I think in the greatest detail that we've seen. I think the last time we've been near Discord's house was probably back in Season 5 with... I don't remember the episode, because again, I'm too lazy to look it up. But in this episode, we then basically cut to Discord's house, where we basically see not only the dimension he lives, but what kind of his lifestyle his house is. As it's basically just as chaotic as we would expect him to be. And Discord then realizes that it might be a bit too much for Fluttershy.
Maybe it's not as bad as I think. Maybe Fluttershy would be comfortable having a tea party here.
Yeah, potentially she basically decided to have a tea party that was like Alice in Wonderland, but it was Wonderland and Alice. I really want to know where that pool leads to. Considering that it's purple and black, I'm sure it's something ominous. So essentially Discord realizes that maybe it's not such a good idea, and keeping the theme of the episode and keeping the theme of the character, he talks to himself and asks himself for advice.
That bad? No, worse. Fluttershy would never be comfortable here. What have you done? I was trying to make the tea party different and special, like me. But all I did was make it chaotic and weird, like me. if those ponies at the tea shop and the china shop were right? What if Fluttershy sees how crazy this place is and realizes how different we are and then doesn't want to be friends anymore?
It's like, see, this episode just gets a lot of laughs out of me because, again, it's essentially John Delancey talking to himself, but essentially it's Discord also consoling himself. Oh, this really just brings a lot of smiles. But I think it also I think this episode also kind of brings light to a couple of something that I don't think is not really addressed all that much. Where you have two people that are really good friends, but they have like completely different personalities that everybody would question, you're friends with this person, and when you want to try to have them over, you realize how opposite you are from the person that is your friend, that you start to doubt yourself. So it's definitely this kind of thing that this episode really digs up, and I really appreciate that. So essentially Discord basically summons, well, for more of himself, and he basically comes up with an idea.
Got it. We know Fluttershy, and we know what she likes. First of all, we need to get rid of all the new stuff. You heard him. Strike the new stuff.
It's really amazing how obviously I know it's Discord, but it's like the fact that they can just easily vacuum up lava with the vacuum cleaner. So they managed to get some of the new stuff out, but it's not done just yet.
Did you have to just wrap? I didn't get around. We need to make this place more Fluttershy and less, well, me. One thing I know about my dear friend is that she loves comfy chairs, but not on the ceiling. And I'm almost certain she likes stairs that lead somewhere.
Kind of raises the question, though, and I know it's Discord, but and I know he can just, like, teleport with a snap of a finger, but it's like, if you have stairs in your house, where is it supposed to go? And also raises the question, where does he sleep? So like I said, they pretty much continue being Discord, manages to rearrange a lot of the stuff as we get essentially a fashion montage. And I should also mention in this scene that iPhones exist in this universe. And again, I know it's Discord, but it's like iPhones in Equestria, so that's just kind of the thing. And he continues to talk to himself, redesign, until eventually we see him as his finished look, as he's basically dressed up like Mr. Rogers.
Strange. For the first time in my life, I don't feel quite strange. In fact, I feel completely normal. Everything is finally perfect for Fluttershy.
So the tea time comes around and he summons Fluttershy, but we see Fluttershy is a bit unnerved with a lot of what's happening.
It turned us green. Is it really envious of the other teeth? What's it do?
But we see that Fluttershy is actually more into the weird, zany character of Discord that we have known from the past 5-6 seasons, as she was expecting for something odd and weird, and Discord doesn't really know how to take it as he tries to go through with his normal conversation, but we see that Fluttershy is more and more surprised of how normal Discord is acting.
You feeling all right?
Whatever do you mean?
Well, it's just what you're wearing, and also what you're saying, and also the way you're saying it, and pretty much everything else.
Oh, dear Fluttershy, worry not. I can assure you that for the first time, I'm feeling perfectly normal. Now, let me top you off. Oh, Butterfingers. How embarrassing.
What's going on?
I have no idea.
Discord, you're starting to fade away.
Oh, you don't say. Have you read any good books lately?
Discord, you're basically kind of fading out of existence. I think her favorite book is the last thing on her mind right now. So, yeah, that's definitely something alarming, is that Discord being normal causes him starting to fade away, and naturally this freaks Fluttershy out. And he tries to pass it off like it's not a big deal.
Which is you.
Well, whatever do you mean? This is just me being me.
No, it's not. It's you being like everybody else. The more you do it, the more you fade away. Of course. You're a creature of pure chaos. Being normal is destroying you.
So, yeah. Now, I know I Love Kim Possible a lot brought this up in her review, and she did bring something up that happened in the comics. But as somebody who has read almost 0 comics in his life and have not read any of the comics in the MLP universe, I can't confirmation for this a fact. So I'm taking what this episode is presenting me at face value. So essentially, being that Discord is the being of chaos, if he tries to be normal, he essentially forces himself to fade out of existence.
Oh, how interesting. That reminds me of something I heard at the market today.
Stop it! Please! You need to go back to being your non-normal self. Quick, Discord, do something chaotic before it's too late. Please!
Do something chaotic? I'll try. Oh, that's not good.
I'd probably be freaking out by this point. So essentially, Fluttershy thinks on her feet and basically tries to do a lot of things that Discord would normally do, like setting up a bunch of reflections like she's talking to herself, and try to make a mess of the place and basically move stuff around, which puts a smile on Discord's face.
You're on the ground? So predictable. Let's put them where they don't belong.
Where she even goes out of her way to basically hammer all of Discord's belongings onto the ceiling. And essentially it does start to work as Discord essentially basically starts to come back into reality, and Discord's able to snap his fingers again and basically come back to the old zany Discord that we know and love. Even bringing back the singing tea leaves.
I do. Who wants to be tethered to the ground when you can do this?
Now this is exactly what I was hoping for.
This is what you were hoping for? But this is the complete opposite of your tea parties.
I wouldn't expect you to throw a tea party the way I would. We're different.
I know. I was afraid that if you saw exactly how different we are, you wouldn't want to be friends anymore.
What? Why would you ever think that?
Because you and I don't make sense to any pony else.
That may be true, but we make sense to me. I never would have thought to make singing ginseng before I met you. You've opened me up to so many more possibilities and impossibilities. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I like you because you're so different from me.
Alright, so a couple things. First off, ginseng ting it was. Thank you, Fluttershy. And this basically brings up the moral of the episode that kind of relates back to real life. Where sometimes you have a best friend that somebody else might see, but when you see that you're friends with this person, some people may go look at you and be like, you're really friends with this person? They're so different from you. Like, it's that generalization that puts a lot of people in doubt where, do you really know the person that you really have a great friendship with, that you guys are complete opposites and that you're really friends? But I think that those types of people, because I'm friends with, very extroverted people, and I am such an introvert, that a lot of people would basically ask me, you're really friends with this person? You don't seem like that. But I think this kind of gives perspective of the extrovert-introvert type of thing, because it basically, I think extroverts can help give introverts a lot more confidence and just being more open and being vulnerable to expressing yourself, while the extroverts are exposed to different sides of what an introvert is like, and on top of that, they basically exposes them to new possibilities and impossibilities, and just different ideologies of the way of thinking. Kind of like how this episode basically presents itself. So, if anything, this is probably one of the most relatable morals that this show can actually put out. And I think it deserves a lot of credit for it.
You do?
Of course I do, silly. Besides, what's Discord without a little chaos?
Well, in that case, I certainly don't need to be wearing this. Oops. I forgot that I still had this on.
So, Discord is back to his old zany self as he and Fluttershy then have their basically the Alice in Wonderland-esque tea party on steroids.
Gazooka.
It really is nice having you here.
I'm happy to be here, and I really do like your place, because it's so you.
Why, thank you, Fluttershy.
Now, how about we try some of those delicious-looking sandwiches?
As the sandwiches that, it might be just me, but I couldn't see, but apparently I think the sandwiches are supposed to be the butterflies, as they're basically having the tea party upside down in Candyland. I mean, that's Discord, and that's basically how this episode ends. So, that was Discord and Harmony, and man, this episode's really good. I mean, there was really a lot of laugh-out moments. I just found myself smiling. Essentially, a lot of it is just Discord essentially talking to himself, but he's basically trying to make himself be more approachable to Fluttershy of what she would think would be considered normal. But then we actually get to see that Fluttershy accepts Discord for who he is. Even more so, it basically kind of shines light on how if you have a friend that might seem very extroverted but you're introverted, and people kind of give this notion that basically asks that you're really friends with this person, it puts in a lot of doubt. But you basically have to trust you and trust the friend that you know, that you guys know each other very well, and it doesn't matter how different you are, because you can open each other to all new possibilities. So this episode does a really, really good job on that. I think all around, this is the type of episode I think needs to be watched to really understand and see how great it is. Because I really don't think I can't just do it justice. This is really, and it's just really a relatable episode to watch, and to see Discord acting normal is so bizarre, but we see how much of an impact the friendship him and Fluttershy have with one another is really, really touching. So with that, as a whole, honestly, there really wasn't a whole lot of things that I questioned or complained about. There wasn't really like any specific nitpicks, so if I'm being honest, I think Discordant Harmony gets an A+. I think this is probably a very, very solid episode that I highly recommend watching. So, that's my final result. Discordant Harmony gets an A+. Alright, so I think now that we covered Discordant Harmony, by next episode we're going to be halfway through Season 7. And I am so glad that those words are coming out of my mouth. And next time is going to be a very, very, very special episode, because next time I'm going to be reviewing The Perfect Pair, aka the episode that first premiered on my birthday, aka the best episode of Season 7. I think we're heading somewhere, folks, and I am looking forward to it more and more. See you guys next time. Bye.